Hello everyone, and welcome to part 5 of my ECE 5000 project. Today we're going to be doing a complete product demonstration. This is going to start out with just going over the console controller and its connections, as well as how the Raspberry Pi is embedded within the Xbox controller. We're then going to load up the Beta emulator, and we're going to briefly go over the main menu and show off the games, do a brief overview of all the games on the emulator. And then we're going to do a playthrough of 3 different games. Specifically, we're going to play through 2048, Doom, and finally, we're going to play through Donkey Kong. And these games have not been demonstrated before in previous sections, as these are newly downloaded. And these are 3 games that run very well in the emulator and demonstrate a wide variety of, games from different eras on this emulator. So this is the completed product. Here we have an Xbox Series X controller, and this little connection here, this connection here is used for data between the controller and the Raspberry Pi Zero, and it's secured within the back casing of the controller. And now all we have to do is plug in the Raspberry Pi and plug in the HDMI cord into a DisplayPort. So we first connect the Raspberry Pi power supply into this connection here. This allows for the controller to be turned on and off with a click of a button. Once this connection is made, the only other thing we have to connect is the HDMI cord to the display monitor. So as follows, we'll just connect that. And this is all connections made, so we can turn on the Raspberry Pi device as follows. Turn on the controller and turn on our display. And the emulator is starting to load up. The emulator will now load up and configure all the games that have been downloaded. And now we're greeted with the main menu and some menu music. So the first thing I'm going to demonstrate is how to configure your controller. So we're going to go to controller settings, controller mapping, and now we're going to map the buttons we want so we can play the games the way we want to. So we can just do this, and we're just clicking the specific buttons on the controller. And then we can confirm. Okay. So first I'm going to briefly go over the main menu. So we can pick between our different consoles. For example, Nintendo Entertainment System, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, and a variety of other ones. PlayStation is here. And if we want to access all of our games, we can just click on the All Games section, and it will show us all of our games. And at the time, we have 14 downloaded. And we can scroll through these and pick whatever game we want to play. So the first game I'm going to show is 2048, which is a Nintendo Entertainment System game. This is the least, complex of the 3 games I'll be demonstrating, as this game is quite old and does not require very much processing power from the Raspberry Pi. So we'll see in the gameplay that it runs quite smoothly. So we wait for it to load, it takes a moment, and we can start a new game. And the goal of this game is just to combine blocks that are multiples of each other and get to the 2048 tile, or as high up as we possibly can. We can see this game only requires the left stick to play. It's very simple. And if we want to leave the game, we can just click the start button. And to return to the main menu, we can click the hotkey button and the start menu. This will return us to the main lobby where we can choose a different game to play. So the next game we're going to be playing is called Doom. And this is a three-dimensional game. So this game does require a little bit more processing power, and the Raspberry Pi can still handle it relatively well, but it is a bit slower than previous games. And yeah, as well, this game has audio. So yeah, back to the main menu. So the last game we'll be demonstrating today is Donkey Kong, the original Donkey Kong. So we'll just play the first level. And again, we can see this game runs perfectly well. And then back to the main menu again. So today, overall, we've showed how my entire ECE 5000 design project works. We showed the emulator, how to map your controller to the emulator, showed the main menus of the emulator and the games that are currently downloaded on it. And finally, we did some gameplay of 3 different games, where we first played 2048, and then we played Doom, and then finally we played Donkey Kong, and we showed that all 3 of these games work perfectly well with the controller and the emulator. And then finally, or at the very beginning, we actually showed the controller setup and how the Raspberry Pi is embedded within the Xbox controller, as well as the necessary connections such that the emulator works correctly. I hope you enjoyed, and if you have any questions, please reach out.